Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Jagat Krishna Prabhupada. All glories to our revered speaker, His Grace Ishara Prabhu. And all glories to our assembled Vaishnava devotees. Devotees, we thank you all for being here as always. And we thank you for your patience. I hope we all enjoyed His Holiness Indra Maharaj's ecstatic, eternal ecstatic kirtan, or bhajan, as you may call it. Prabhuji, Shri Shara Prabhu, we may put the verse on the screen and then you take it over from Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Gurave Gurachandraya Radhikaya Chidaraye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Ta Bhaktayo Namo Namo. Rama Rayano Namaskritya Narayachavanarotamam Devam Saraswati Vyasam Tatu Jayamudurayat Nasta Prayeswabhadresu Nitya Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamas Loke Bhakti Bhavati Naistike Vede Ramane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tata Hado Adya Chamade Chahari Sabata Giyate Mukam Karatiba Chalam Prangulang Garaje Guri Ya Kripataha Bande Sri Guru Dinatarine Paramananda Madhava. Dharma Prajuto Kataba Paramoni Masnasatan Vedam Vastavam Atabasu Sivadan Tapataya Mulanan Sima Bhagavati Mahamuni Kitinki Vapara Ishwara Sadhuridi Havariti Chakitipita Kishanam Nigama Kapatalu Galitan Falam Sukamukandavasam Yutam Pibatam Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Mahura Urasika Bhavibavuka Atoyam Brahmasutranam Bharatata Beninaya Gayati Basarupa Sabidata Paribimita Sabiditi Asanam Saram Saram Paribimita Sabidantam Saram Shibhaktamishate Tarasamita Shati Tashanayati Sarati Kuchi Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Chan Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namo Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chandra Madhanam Devaki Paramananda Krishna Vandi Jagaguru Namamo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutale Shimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nibisesa Sunya Bhadi Pashadya Sadi Satarine Bhanja Kapaturu Vyascha Kripa Sunya Bhivachan Patitanam Pavana Bhibhyo Vashna Bhibhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadara Siva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I thank everyone for tuning in this evening, which is my time, daytime, your time over there. And I'm speaking from Sri Vrindavan Dham. I have to apologize for being late. There was some technical issue on my side here. So that caused the lateness. So today is the 14th November, which is the day before the end of Kartik. Kartik finished tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day of Kartik Mass, the month of Kartik. So today is the day before the Purnima. So first, before I talk about Kartik, I just discuss this Bhagavatam verse. It's a very beautiful verse. I discuss this first, and then Then I will say something about Kartik. So we've been this chapter, which is the third canto of Bhagavatam, chapter 4 text, today's text 21. And the chapter is it basically discuss the how Uddhava, who's on his way going to the Badarika ashram, and at the same time the meeting of the Maitreya Muni. So the meeting of Maitreya Muni, because Uddhava is experiencing a very deep separation from the Lord, very deep separation because Krishna is everything. So why now on the way to the Badarika ashram, so is experiencing the great celebration which he had, because there are some few devotees whereby normally they are always with the Lord, devotees are always with the Lord. But sometimes the Lord will give them certain particular mission, like that you stay behind and broadcast my glory. So you don't have to necessarily come with me. Just like in the case of Hanuman. Hanuman is a great devotee of the Lord, great devotee of Lord Ramachandra. And Hanuman, he rendered the greatest service to Lord Ramachandra, the greatest service. No one service can come close to the service of Hanuman. So therefore, Hanuman is called one of Haridas. There are three Haridas. Haridas means the servant of Hari, three personalities. So one is Anuma. Anuma is called Haridas. And the second one is Uddhava. Uddhava is also Haridas, servant of Hari. And then the third one is Yudhishthira Maharaj. So these three persons, they are said to be Haridas. And then there is Govardhan, actually Govardhan. So the gopis, there's Antabari, Abalon, Haridas, Abayo. So the Anuma, actually, I made a reference to Anuma because Anuma, when Lord Ramachandra was departing this world, when he was closing his pastimes, and the Lord took he took everyone with him. The Lord Ramachandra took everyone with him, all the residents of Ayodhya, and then all the uh, personality like Sugriva, like Nala Nila, so many persons who had assisted the Lord. So the Lord took, but Anuma specifically, he did not take Anuma with him. He told Anuma to, you stay behind and broadcast my glories. You stay behind and broadcast my, and the Lord told Anuma that wherever my glory is being broadcast, I'm personally there. So therefore, you will never feel my separation. So it's a tradition here, especially in India. Whenever there is a narration, recitation of Lord Ramachandra's pastimes, there's always, because Anuma will come and sit there, Anuma is always there. So you always see a seat that is there, you always see an empty seat, and that seat is meant for Anuma, because that's where people, which means whenever there's a recitation of Lord Ram's Lila, then Anuma will always there sitting. So, okay, let me just read the text first, and then I go back on I will go on with the discussion. It's very, very nice verse. And of course, this tonight's verse will also lead us to my description of Kartik. So text 3:421. Sohanta Dashana Lada Viyogati Yuta Prabhu Gamishe Daitam Tasya Bada Yashama Mandalam. So we do word for word meaning. On the word for word, just got it here. Paham, that's myself, that is, Darshana, audience, Halada, pleasure, Viyoga, without death, Ati Yutaha, afflicted by distress, Prabhu, my dear sir, Gamishi, shall go, Dajitan, so instructed, Tasha, is, Badaya Ashrama, Badarika Ashrama in the Himalayas, Mandalam Association. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear Vidura, now I am mad for want of the pleasure of seeing him. And just to mitigate this, I am now proceeding to Badarika Ashram in the Himalayas for association, as I have been instructed by him. Purport. A pure devotee of the Lord, of the standard of Uddhava, constantly associate with the Lord in the double perception of simultaneous separation and meeting. The pure devotee is not for a moment unengaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. Execution of the Lord's service is the main occupation of the pure devotee. Uddhava's separation from the Lord was unbearable, and therefore he started to Badarika Ashram in obedience to the Lord's order, because the order of the Lord and the Lord himself are identical. As long as one is engaged in the execution of the order of the Lord, there is no factual separation from him. So in one sense, the Lord devotees, they always with the Lord. Devotees and the Lord and the devotees, they're always together. After all, the Lord is all spiritual. It's not this meeting of the Lord and devotees. It's not a material. It's not a material thing, because devotees in their deeper consciousness, they're always in a constant association with the Lord. The constant association with the Lord is always there. But due to the height of love that is there, sometimes one become overwhelmed with feelings of separation. The overwhelming feelings of separation is always there. So that's why in Krishna consciousness, that's it, because as they say, sometimes the familiarity, if one is a constant association, let's say if there is a constant presence with the object of love, sometimes there may be some kind of what we call familiarity. So therefore there has to be always be constant separation. But the separation is there, which one feels, because with that separation, one cries out to the Lord that, oh my Lord, where are you? Where are you? Where, one become like crazy, basically. Hmm? One say, where are you, my Lord? Where are you? Hmm? Just like mentioned, how the six Goswami saw Vrindavan, headed by Rupa Sanatana Goswami, Raghunadas Goswami, Raghunabhata Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gopapata Goswami. They will run in the forest of Vrindavan. Hmm? E Radhe Brajadevi Ke Chatlite Nanda Suno Kutai. So they will run, they become like mad. They be running the forest of Vrindavan, crying out, hey Krishna, hey Radhe, hey Nanda, hey the son of Nanda, where are you? Nanda, where are you? They be crying out, shouting. Hmm? Because that is the only, there's no other goal of life. The only goal of life is to be in constant association with the Lord. But because sometimes the Lord will make a conscious, it will consciously make devotee feel separated from him. And so that then devotee will cry out for the Lord. We have the case of Bhivamanga Thakur. So Bhivamanga Thakur was a great devotee of the Lord. He was a great devotee that when he came to Vrindavan, searching out for Krishna, he was a blind person. He was a blind person. The story of how he became blind is another, that can take a whole lecture itself. So he was a blind person. And then, so when he came to, he was an old man, but he was also old man. So when he came to Vrindavan, a blind person, and he was constant, he was filled with bhav, with feelings of Krishna, that Krishna himself come and actually became his guide. So Krishna hold his hand, and then Krishna will be taking him around Vrindavan. And then there will be conversation between Bhimanga Thakur and Krishna. And Krishna will be playing with him. Krishna will be playing with his devotee. So one time as they were playing, because Bhimanga Thakur will always hold on to will always hold onto the hand of the Lord. So as they were playing one time, so Krishna, he forcibly snatched his hand from the hand of Bhimanga Thakur. So when when he snatched his hand from the hand of Bhimanga Thakur, so Bhimanga Thakur said, oh my dear Lord, you have snatched away your hand from me, but you can snatch away your hand from my hand, but you can never be able to get away from my heart. He can never be able to get away from me, because after all, a devotee has captured the Lord within his heart. Tomare ridoye sada Govinda Vishram Govinda Kohena Mama Vaishnava. So that within your, we said within your heart, Govinda is there in your heart. The Govinda is resting very nicely within your heart. He always said that if you want to see Krishna, go and see a pure devotee of Krishna. Because wherever a pure devotee of Krishna is, that's where Krishna is. He said, Tomare Ridoye Gada. Within your heart, Govinda is resting. Krishna is resting within your heart. So Krishna said, Govinda Kohina Mama Vaishnava Paranta. Krishna himself said that the Vaishnavas are mine. I'm always with my devotees. Hmm? So, Bhimanga Thakur said that, oh, my dear Krishna, try to get away from try to get away from my heart is impossible. He cannot. Because the pure devotees, the Lord is always there. So therefore, they are always constant, they're always in constant presence, in presence of the Lord, but due to the intense spiritual feelings, they feel themselves separated from the Lord. So when they feel themselves separated, so then they lament, there's lamentation. There's lamentation of the feeling of separation. But the Lord is always there. The Lord is never away from his devotees. However, the separation and feelings, these are compared to the bank of a river, two banks of a river. You have the river, and on either side of the river are the banks. So one bank is there, two banks. So two banks is there. One of the bank is called the meeting, and then the other bank is separation. So the meeting and separation, they are there because they are the two banks. These are the two banks. And they are always flowing, which means the love of God is always flowing. So there's always simultaneous meeting, simultaneous meeting and separation. But all this is just so that to increase the loving feelings of the devotees. So here, Uddhava is saying that, no, I'm mad for want of the pleasure of seeing him. He said, I'm mad because the Lord is not with me. The Lord is not here. So now, in order to mitigate, I'm now proceeding to Badarika in the Himalayas for association. Association with who? With his devotees. Because the Lord has sent Uddhava to the Badarika ashram. He sent to Badarika ashram to go and deliver his message. To go and deliver his message. So now, how does Uddhava become so qualified that, the Lord personally sent him to give him his message and to send him to the Badarika ashram? So the Lord, when he was giving the message to him, the Lord was telling Uddhava, so we can know something about the personality of Uddhava. Who is this person? How great is it? So the Lord said, Natatame Priyatamo Atma Yoninan Shankaraha Nacha Sankasano Nasri Naibatma Cha Yatabhavan. So the Lord is telling Uddhava that, my dear Uddhava, neither Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Sankashana, which means Balaram, the goddess of fortune, not even my own self is as dear to me as you are. So Uddhava is a very, very dear devotee of the Lord. The Lord said, Shivaji, Brahmaji, Balaram, Sankashan, Lakshmi. The Lord said, they are not even my own body, my own self. They are not dear to me as you are. Uddhava is the most dear to the Lord, very, very dear devotee of the Lord. The Srila Vishnu Chakravarti, he had commented on this verse. If someone were to ask the Lord, how dear is your devotee to you? The reply is given in this verse. The Lord says, Brahma is my son. Shankara, Shiva, is my expansion, my friend. Sankarshan, which is Balaram, is my brother. And Lakshmi Devi is my wife, and yet none of them, and not even my own self, is as dear to me as you are. My dear Uddhava, you are my devotee, and so you are most dear to me. This is also confirmed by Sridhar Swami. Although personalities like Brahma are also the Lord's devotees, they are placed in responsible positions and thus are not exactly like the fully surrendered devotees. The Lord gives preference to a helpless devotee who depends completely on his mercy. The only way to obtain the Lord's mercy is through his causeless love. And the Lord is most lovingly inclined towards those devotees who are most dependent on him. Just as ordinary mothers and fathers worry more about their helpless children than those who are self-sufficient. Because personalities like Brahma have a sense of their unique identity and position. They had not been addressed here as devotees. This is not the case with personalities like Nanda and Yashoda. Although they were parents of the Supreme Lord, they acted as his great devotees and thus were very dear to him. In his pastimes, we invariably see that the Lord is fully controlled by his devotees. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:9-20. Neman Vrinchana Babona Shyapianga Samshaya Prasadan Labire Gopiyata Papa Vimuktidat. The Supreme Lord, who can award liberation to anyone, showed more mercy toward the gopis than to Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and even the goddess of fortune, who is his own wife, and is associated with his body. It may appear in this verse that among all the devotees, Uddhava is the best. But the gopis are even superior to Uddhava. The dust from the lotus feet of the gopis is even superior to the gopis themselves. And so that is what Uddhava had hoped to receive. This is the Vaishnava conclusion, because Lord Krishna, when he was talking to Uddhava, telling Uddhava that no one is as dear to me as you are. So therefore, I want to send you, I want to take my message to Vrindavan. Because Lord Krishna, in his past time in Vrindavan, he had left Vrindavan. And when he left Vrindavan, because he had promised the Bijabasi that I will come back. When he was leaving, he told him I will come back. And because Vrindavan, the great devotees in Vrindavan, Krishna is their everything. They have no other life except Krishna. Their consciousness, their activities, everything is taught Krishna. Which means they are completely one with Krishna, totally. No other thing, no other life except Krishna. So Krishna is their life now. Krishna left Vrindavan now. And when the day Krishna left Vrindavan, the Bijabasi, they stopped all activities. They simply lamenting that, oh, Krishna, where are you? When are you coming back? Where are you? Because, and with this, and of course, when Krishna left Vrindavan, the residents of Vrindavan, they could have given up their life. But they are maintaining their life because Krishna promised them that he's coming back. So because of this promise that Krishna gave them, so they are holding their life because of this promise that Krishna gave them. So this lamentation of the Bijabasi, Lord Krishna wanted to relieve. He wanted to relieve the agony of the residents of Vrindavan. So therefore, the Lord needed to send a message to go and comfort the Bijabasi that, and the most qualified person that the Lord can send is Uddhava. The Lord said, my dear Uddhava, you are the most dear to me. You are the most dear to me. No one is as dear to me as you are. So you are the perfect person who can take my message to the residents of Vrindavan. So therefore the Lord sent Uddhava to Vrindavan to go and deliver his message. Uddhava going to Vrindavan, that's a total subject we can discuss inside another subject that was discussion. So now, so Uddhava is the greatest devotee of the Lord. It's, as I mentioned at the beginning, that is what we call Haridas, the servant of Lord Krishna, the servant of Lord Hari. Then, so Uddhava, he had received instruction from the Lord in the Badarika, not the Badarika ashram, in the Prabha Kshetra. The Lord gave instruction to Uddhava, and also Maitreya Muni was also there, as we're going to hear later, because Maitreya Muni, Uddhava is going to direct Vidura to go and hear from Maitreya Muni, because Maitreya Muni was there when Uddhava was hearing from the Lord. And it is this message that the Lord told Uddhava that you must take this message to the residents of Badarika Ashram. You must take this message to them. So why Uddhava was feeling intense separation, was lamenting greatly for the absence of the Lord, but at the same time, keeping this order of the Lord on his head. He was feeling some relief. So which means the Lord's order has become, which law has become identical with the Lord himself. So while following this order, so whatever is feeling some presence, the Lord the Lord himself is personally present in this order which he had received. So in the what is this order? When the Lord, after speaking the Uddhava Gita, Uddhava Gita Uddhava Gita is the instruction which the Lord had given to Uddhava. So we call it Uddhava Gita because the Uddhava Gita, the Lord Krishna is the speaker, and so Lord Krishna is the speaker, and Uddhava is the hearer. So after the Lord finished instructing Uddhava, and then he now want to send him to Badarika Ashram. So the Lord said, Gaya Chadavubdava Maya Disto Badariakam Mama Shraman Tata Matpadati to the snow no Pastrapas Mai Suchi Ikshaya La Kamadia Viduta Sesa Kamasaha Pasano Bakanyanga Valuable Suka Nispisiha Titikshu Dwanda Manas Susila Sanitindriya Santaha Samadhi Tadiya Gyana Vigyana Samyutaha Maito Nukshitam Yatti Viviktam Anubhavayam Mayam Vesita Bhajato Maldhama Nirito Baba Ati Braja Gatis Tisro Mam Vishya Tata Param. So I just read from the 11 Canto Bhagavatam, and this is like 30 chapter text. The text end at text 44. So the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna, talking to Uddhava, he said, "My dear Uddhava, follow my order and go to Badarika Ashram. Purify yourself by bathing and performing a charman with the water that has emanated from my lotus feet. Free yourself of all sinful reactions by having darshan of the sacred Alakananda river. Dress yourself in tree bark and eat the fruits and roots that are easily available in the forest. Thus, you should remain self-satisfied and free of all desires, tolerant of all dualities, good-natured, self-controlled, peaceful, and endowed with transcendental knowledge and realization. With fixed attention, constantly contemplate these instructions that I have imparted to you, and thus assimilate their essence. Fix your mind and words upon me, and in this way, you'll be able to surpass the influence of the three modes of material nature and finally come back to me." So this instruction, it has a double meaning. This double meaning is what we call slash in Sanskrit. Normally in Sanskrit language, if you study Sanskrit language, there may be a particular expression, particular word of expression, but that expression, the intention may not be the literal meaning of that particular word, but it may be indication of something else. Because Uddhava is a great devotee. He's always with the law. He doesn't need he doesn't need any purification. Like the Lord saying here that you go to this Alakananda, you bathe yourself in the holy river, and then you can purify yourself, free from all sins, that then after you can come to me. This instruction does not apply to Uddhava, because Uddhava he is the one that purifies the place of pilgrimage. The place of pilgrimage, whereby many people go there to purify themselves. They go, they take bath, and then they take bath in the place of pilgrimage and the rivers, and then they dump all their sinful activities that they get purified. Which means the holy rivers is full of the sinful activities of the people. So what happened to the holy rivers? How can the holy river be purified of all the sins which has been dumped onto it? But when the great Mahajans, the great devotees, when they come, they also bathe in the holy river, same holy river. But when they bathe, because it's just like the sun that purifies everything. So when they bathe in the holy river, they purify the holy river by the virtue of their bathing. So they become the purifier of the holy place of pilgrimage. So therefore, in Bhagavatam said that the great devotees, they themselves, they are the only place of pilgrimage they are the personified place of pilgrimage. Titi Stani was the Titi Kuvanti Stani. That Titi Kuvanti, that you yourself, you are the place of pilgrimage personified. So the Lord has spoken this way, telling Uddhava that, my dear Uddhava, you go to Badarika Ashram and take my message there, because the Lord I just finished instructing the message to giving instruction to Uddhava. And I told him now that now you take this message and go and give this to my devotees who are in the Badarika Ashram, because these devotees, when I was present on this earth, they did not have my association. They didn't have my association. And the time for my leaving this planet has come. I've been here for 125 years. So the time for my departure has come. But these devotees, they are constantly feeling my absence. So you go and deliver my message to them. And once they receive this message, then they will feel very, very happy, because the Lord's message is not different from the Lord himself. So Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, whoever, you are as good as me, and thus, among all the members of the Yadu dynasty, you are my personal representative. I had previously declared, Uddhava is not inferior to me in any way. Therefore, you should remain in this world just to preach my instructions. Distribute this transcendental knowledge to everyone. Whatever I wish to accomplish in this world can be done by you. As I had previously sent you to Braj, to Vrindavan, I will now send you to Badarika Ashram. There, the foremost of sages, Sri Narayan, as well as others, aspire to see me. Previously, I traveled to Mithila and many other places on this earth, and satisfied all my devotees who desire to see me by giving them my darshan and imparting to them transcendental knowledge. Now, however, I am unable to go to Badarika Ashram. I am now 125 years old, and the time for my disappearance has arrived. You said to me, I am your surrendered servant, and so kindly order me, what should I do? So this is my order. Your name, Uddhava, is suitable because you give pleasure to everyone. Now, go to Badarika Ashram and give everyone joy by displaying your knowledge, renunciation, and other sublime characteristics. This is my mission. Indeed, simply by your glance, you will nullify all the sinful reactions that have become stoked in all the holy places, like river Ganges, Alakananda. After you execute my order, you will return to me in the spiritual sky. So the great affection that is there between the Lord and Uddhava is being portrayed in this purport, the great affection. The Lord is full of affection for his devotees, just like the devotees are also full of affection for him. You know, both are there. So we can see the great fortune of such great personalities. So when the Lord consider you as his own, when the Lord consider you as his own, then he, then because the Lord considers you as his own, so therefore he makes you that, okay, now you be not different from me. You have to do this, like take the glory of my mercy to people in general. Just like in the Bhagavatamrita, it was described when Gopal Kumar, when he was in the spiritual world, okay, when Gopal Kumar was in the spiritual world, actually he was in, at that time he was in Vaikuntha, and he was in the association of Lord Shiva. He was having a discussion with Lord Shiva. And then during this time with Lord Shiva, so Gopal Kumar, he saw some personalities. They were coming from above. And at this personality, they were coming from above, and then they were going to different places in the material world. So Gopal Kumar asked, who are these persons and where are they going? Who are these persons? Where are they going? So Ganesh, Lord Ganesh, he told Gopal Kumar that, oh, these personalities, they were coming from the Vaikuntha down, they were coming from the topmost planets. And they were going, each one of them is going to different universes in the material world. Each one is going to different universes in the material world to deliver the people, to preach the message of the Lord. So therefore they go to different universes. So therefore when the great, just like we have Srila Prabhupada, for example, who was he was not a member of this material world. So he was sent by Krishna himself. He came from the spiritual world. So he came here to this material world to deliver people like us. So he came from the spiritual world. So the Lord will send his own devotees. He will send them to different places in the material world to go and deliver his message. So the Lord is sending whatever to Badarika, and that you go there, you purify the place of pilgrimage there just by your presence. You purify those places. And when those devotees, when they hear my message through your mouth, they will feel themselves blessed. They will feel very happy when they hear my message, and they will consider my message coming from you to be as good as having my personal association. So this is the conception, the idea which is being portrayed. This is the topmost aspect of love of God is being described in this verse of the Bhagavatam, which we are reading today, in terms of how devotees they always feeling a constant separation from the Lord, but at the same time, the meeting with the Lord is also always there. By they think of the Lord's form, they meditate on the Lord's form, the Lord's activities, and the Lord's, so by all this meditation, so coupled with the fact that they feeling this so-called separation, which is the separation is called viraha. Viraha means the separation. And then there's Milan. Milan means union. This is also called yoga. So you have Milan, you have Viraha, separation, and then you also have Milan. Milan means union, and they are together. As I mentioned, there's like a river, two banks on the river. The river flowing, the river of love of God is flowing, and then there is that on the bank of this river, and on the opposite side of this river are the two banks. And this bank, one bank is separation, one bank is union, but they always they are there simultaneously. So that is the something about Uddhava tonight we can discuss. So the Kartik time, Lord Damodara, today is the 29th day of the observance of Kartik Vrata. Today is the 29th day. And tomorrow is the last day. So the devotees have been observing this Kartik vow, and tomorrow is the last day of the vow, the last day of the brata. This is called a Uja brata. Uja brata means whereby they make a vow. That vow can be what one wants to do for the whole month of Kartik, because this month is the most auspicious month compared to any other month. It's called the month of Damodara. The month of Lord Damodara is this month. And whatever spiritual activities that one perform in this month, whatever activity one perform, that spiritual activity is thousands and thousands of times much. The result is thousands and thousands of more time more than the other activities which are performed in other months. Because this month of Damodara is very, very dear to Lord Krishna. And because many things happen during this month, many things happened there. Because when Lord Krishna was a child, this is the month when he was bound by Mother Yashoda. In the last talk I gave, I mentioned about this, how Mother Yashoda was chasing Lord Krishna. Krishna was a child, was like 2 years old, child, and he had broken the pot of yogurt, the pot of butter, which Mother Yashoda was churning. He had broken it. And then he ran away. He went to a darkened place, and he finds some pot of butter which had been put on the raft. So he broke this pot. He was eating the butter, and then he was feeding them to the monkeys. Somebody Yashoda knew what Krishna had done, that Krishna had become very naughty. He had broken the pot, now he's hiding himself away. Somebody Yashoda, he took a stick in her hand, and he was saying that today I must chastise my child. So he took a stick in her hand, and then he was looking for where Krishna is. And then she went to the room. And because knowing that Krishna is already there in the room, sitting he was there. Actually, Krishna was standing in one of the upturned grinding mortar, eating the butter and also feeding the monkeys. So Mother Yashoda was coming steadily behind. She didn't want Krishna to know that she was coming. Otherwise, that Krishna would run away. But as she was coming, she was walking like very steadily. But Krishna look behind, and somebody should have come in, and they immediately jumped down, and then he started running away. He started running away. Yashoda biyolu kala davamanam paramis atan to gopia. So Krishna, he jumped down, and in fear of Mother Yashoda, he was running away. And as he was running away, Mother Yashoda was running after him. Mother Yashoda was running after Krishna, and Krishna was running away. So this running away so Mother Yashoda running after Krishna, and Krishna running away from Mother Yashoda, it plays a lot of significance in our spiritual life. That we always have to be fully determined to attain the goal of life in spiritual life. Spiritual life is based on acute determination. Because when Krishna was running away, Mother Yashoda, she was very determined. I must catch this boy. I must catch Krishna. I must catch him. I must catch Krishna. Even though Krishna was very swift running, He was, boy, 23-year-old boy. And the Mother Yashoda is, it's like kind of, full figure woman, full figure. So how much wrong can she do? How much wrong can she do? But she will not give up. Her mind was that I must catch Krishna. So Krishna was running out of the palace into the street. Mother Yashoda was also running after him. All the demigods, they all came out. They all came out in the skies and in their airplanes, looking down and see Mother Yashoda running after Krishna. The whole town came on the street, looking Mother Yashoda running after Krishna. So how many times are we running after God? How many times have we said, I must catch him, I must determine because that's the intensity of spiritual life has to be based on that only, that intensity that yes, I must be fully. This human form of life is very precious. And I do not want to come back again. I do not want to return to this material world after giving up this body. I don't want to return. So to what extent, what am I doing in order not to return back to this material world? So we have to chase after God. Not that we have to chase after, money, chasing. We cannot do two things. We cannot do both. We can only chase. It's not that, okay, let me look for money, let me survive, at the same time also, let me, look for God. It's not possible to chase both. You cannot cross a river and put your leg onto boat. You cannot cross a river and put your leg. You cannot cross the river. So you put your leg this way and that way, then you want to cross the river. That's not possible. You're going to be frustrated. So similarly also, we cannot say that, okay, I want to attain God. And at the same time also, I must fulfill all my material activities, society, friendship, and love. One has to be given. Either one has to be choosing. It's not possible to choose both. And that's why they say that a mixed devotee is never happy. A mixed devotee. A mixed devotee is the one who's trying to say, okay, let me do both together. My material life and also my spiritual life. You cannot. So when Mother Yashoda was chasing Krishna, and Krishna was looking behind, saw that, oh, my mother is not stopping, keep chasing after me. So the great sage, Satyavata Muni, who is having this meditation, seeing Mother Yashoda chasing after Krishna, is in his meditation. So he's seeing this pastime going on. Then he said, Rudanta Mohunetra Yugma Mrijantan Karambo Jayugmena Satankanetran Mohuswasakam Patri Re Kakakanta Sita Grabadamo Dara Bhakti Badam. Such a very beautiful composition. Rudanta means crying. So Krishna was crying. Normally that's what the children, that's what they do when they know that they are about to be punished by their parents, so they cry. That's the weapon they have. So Krishna was crying and he was rubbing his eye. He was rubbing his eye. He was rubbing his eye again and again. Because Mother Yashoda was running after him, and then Mother Yashoda caught up with him. Now, how did Mother Yashoda caught up with Krishna? How did Krishna allow himself to be caught by Mother Yashoda? Was it because he became tired? So therefore Mother Yashoda caught up with him? No. Krishna did not become tired. And it's not because Mother Yashoda was running faster than Krishna. No, because Mother Yashoda she had that determination that I must catch this boy. I must catch him. So she was running through the street of Vrindavan, running after the boy. And then as she was running, she was not feeling her own tiredness. That being a full-figured woman, she was actually thinking more of the inconvenience that Krishna must be having while running, you know, on the ground of Vrindavan. So many stones are there. And then she was simply thinking, oh, my boy is feeling so much pain, so much stone are there, and it's running. So she was feeling it. And this became a source of anxiety for her as she was thinking this way. So this became a sort of anxiety for her. So immediately Krishna said, oh, this love, so Krishna cannot allow his devotees to suffer. Krishna does not allow his devotees to have suffering, to experience misery. So because of this miserable condition which Mother Yashoda was feeling, so immediately Krishna became overpowered by love of Mother Yashoda, became overpowered by love. So that's what he did, that love triumphed everything. So Krishna became overpowered by love, and then he allowed himself to be caught by Mother Yashoda, because this is her desire. So she caught Mother Yashoda, caught him. And then, as he was caught by Mother Yashoda, so Mother Yashoda, she has a stick in her hand. So Krishna started crying, say, Mother, don't beat me, don't beat me, don't beat me, and he was crying, and he was crying, Rudantam Hunita Jubambi Janta, it was Ruda means that to cry. So he was crying, actually shedding tears, and rubbing his eye. All the ointment, all the mascara, all the ointment on his face was been rubbing, spread all over his face and all that. So this particular pastime of Mother Yashoda, Krishna crying because he was afraid of Mother Yashoda, this was commented upon by Srila Vishnu Chakravarti, that actually this pastime, the Lord was actually, it's not that the Lord was simply performing an act. He was actually feeling it. This is due to love of his devotee. The Lord, in this particular situation, even though the Lord is omnipresent, the most powerful, is everything, omniscient and everything. But in this particular situation, the Lord, he allowed his Yogamaya, his internal energy, to cover him, whereby he no longer thinks himself as God, the Supreme Lord, who all the creation are afraid of. But now he allowed himself to become subordinate to his devotee. He becomes subordinate, whereby he actually forget who he is. This is called Mogdata. He forget who he is as God. He sees himself as an offender of his mother. So he sees himself as an offender of his mother. So therefore, he's begging his mother, please, man, Mata, don't beat me, And he was crying heavily, he was, shaking his chest, crying heavily, shaking his chest, crying heavily. So when Krishna was doing this, shaking his head and, shaking his chest, crying, and somebody showed her, he said, okay, I'm not going to beat you. So she threw away the stick. She said, okay, I'm not going to beat you, but I must punish you, because you've been so naughty, you're causing so much disturbances, going to so many houses, stealing butter. And then there's a conversation that took place between Krishna and Mother Yashoda. And this conversation was put in the Gopal Champu. Gopal Champu is a book written by Jiva Goswami, which describes Lord Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, especially, mostly only in Vrindavan, the Holy Krishna pastime. So there, the conversation between Krishna and Mother Yashoda is there. When Mother Yashoda was accusing Krishna that, oh, you're a thief, so much complaint is coming, and then Krishna said, no, I'm not a thief, it's your dynasty. And he was also accusing his mother that, well, no, it's your dynasty that is thief, It's very nice conversation that is there between Krishna and Mother Yashoda. So anyway, then Mother Yashoda say, I must chastise you. And then she bind Krishna to a wooden granny mortar. Bind Krishna. Now, what is this bind? How can one bind the Lord? How is this possible to bind him? Is he limited? He's unlimited. The Lord is unlimited. He's unlimited. When Lord Vamandev was an incarnation of Lord Krishna. So when Lord Vamandev, when he went to the sacrificial arena of Bali Maharaj, and then he went to beg for charity. He went to beg for charity. He went to the sacrificial arena of Bali, and then so when Bali saw this boy, he came because Vamandev was a dwarf Brahmana. So Bali Maharaj was very, very much attracted when he saw this young Brahmana. So Vaman said that, my dear Bali Maharaj, you have a reputation being a very, very charitable person. So therefore, I want to beg from you 3 steps of land. And then Bali said that 3 steps of land, don't you know me? I'm the king of all. I'm the king. I'm the owner of the whole universe. Everything is under me. Everything is, so you ask me for 3 steps of land. These are insults to me. 3 steps of land? Ask me for a village, for a whole country, ask me. What can I not give you? Why 3 steps of land? And then Bali said, oh, you must be, you appear to be Brahmana, but you must be unintelligent Brahmana. How can you be asking me for 3 steps of land? Especially being a dwarf Brahman. But Vamandev said that a person who cannot satisfy by a small thing can never be satisfied even if you give him the whole world. So Lord Vamandev replied this way. So, and then Bali Maharaj said, okay, I will give you this step. So I will give you 3 steps of land. But immediately Bali Maharaj's guru, Sukracharya, came. He said, oh, look, he said, Bali, don't trust in this Brahmana. This is not an ordinary Brahmana. This is Vishnu. Don't trust him. He's coming to trick you. This is Vishnu himself who is going to trick you. So therefore, don't agree to it. Don't agree to him. But Bali Maharaj said, no, I've given a promise. I must, whatever he asks for, I must give him. I must give him whatever he asked me. If it's Vishnu, so be it. I've given up my word. And the person who does not keep his word, then the earliest planet is waiting for that person. So then Vamandev, he now decided to take 3 steps of land. But what happened? He immediately became very big. When he take 1 step, is the first step, the first leg expanded to the extent that half of the universe is covered. When he took the half of the universe is covered, the first step. From the lowest planet to the topmost planet. And then when he take the second step, the other half was covered. So now where's going to put the third step? So Bali said, well, my head is there. You can step on my head. So this is just to illustrate the fact that the Lord is unlimited. So when Mother Yashoda she called Krishna. I said, now she wants to bind Krishna. And then, so when she decided to bind Krishna, then initially Krishna said, then Krishna desired that I don't want to be bound by anyone. I don't want to be I don't want to be bound. So Krishna desired that. Just by this desire, his potency came into play. The Lord has so many potencies. Vibhu Shakti, Kripa Shakti, so many Shakti, many energies are there. So when the Lord desired that he doesn't want to be banned, so Vibhu Shakti came into play. And with this Vibhu Shakti, Mother Yashoda, she tried to bind Krishna. But each time she tried to bind Krishna with the rope always coming up short. 2 inches too short. 2 inches too short. She tried taking all the ropes from the house inside the house, tie them together, trying to buy Krishna. Krishna could not be bound. And then Krishna sent, and then Mother Yashoda sent a maidservant to all the neighborhood houses. That go to the neighborhood house, bring all their ropes. Bring all their ropes. Because I must bind this boy. I must bind this boy. But each time she tied the rope together, it's always come 2 inches too short. I mean, 2 fingers too short. 2 fingers too short. That she was making an endeavor to bind Krishna. Krishna will not allow himself to be bound. Always coming too short. So all the ladies, they were clapping their hand, making a fun of Mother Yashoda. Hey, said, oh, Yashoda Didi, oh, you cannot bind your child. You're unable to bind your child. So they are making a fun and clapping their hand and and all that. But Mother Yashoda, even though she was sweating, she making all the effort, but she will not give up. She said, no. When they said that your child, cannot be bound, she said, I will bind my child. I'm going to bind this boy. I must bind him. So, but each time it's always coming 2 inches. I mean, 2 fingers too short. Which is another teaching, another lesson to us, because 2 fingers too short represent the two things by which devotees have to be have to be take cognizance of. These 2 things is the constant endeavor and also the mercy of the Lord. Those 2 things always have to be there. The mercy and also the practice. Those 2 things always have to be there. This as explained by the Acharya. So when they showed us, she will not give up, and then all the ropes in all the neighborhood were brought still. Krishna could not be banned. The same time, Mother Yashoda will not give up. So this become a practice of yoga. You know, normally the yogis, they go to the forest and they practice so much meditation, yoga practice, they perform so much austerity, just so that they can catch a glimpse of the Supreme Lord. So this attempt to Mother Yashoda to want to bind Krishna becomes just like a yogi's practice. She will not give up, very determined. So eventually Krishna becomes subdued by the love of Mother Yashoda. Krishna becomes subdued, and then eventually, then when Krishna becomes subdued by the love of Mother Yashoda, so his other Shakti came into play. Now the Kripa Shakti comes. So when the Kripa Shakti comes, and then the other Vibhu Shakti just left the arena. Now Kripa Shakti comes, which is the Shakti of mercy. And then Mother Yashoda, by the last rope, she was able to bind Krishna. But what is this binding? He said that Stita Grava Damodara Bhakti Badam. Damodar was bound, not by the rope, but he was bound by the love of his devotee. He was bound by the love of his devotees. With the love, with the loving bhakti, the devotees, the love becomes subdued by the loving service of his devotees. The love becomes subdued. So therefore, love is the champion. Love triumph everything by devotional love. You know, when he comes to eat from his devotees they have love for him. When his devotees have love for him, so he become hungry. And he comes running to the devotees. I want to eat. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I want to eat. I want to eat. I want to eat. I'm hungry. So the devotees prepare food for him. And then the Lord eats. Because their preparation is love. So they offer loving love to him. So the Lord become hungry and is very, very, very eagerly eating love of his devotee. Eating it with pleasure. He's eating it. Whereas others are unable to do that. The Lord is called Atmaram, is Aptakam, is self-satisfied. Everything is within his body. The whole universe is within his body. What does it? He doesn't need anything. But he's hankering for the love of his devotees. The person who doesn't need anything then become anxious to get the offering of his devotees. And this love, it has no particular definition. One time, there was one lady who was, she was a great devotee of the Lord, love of the Lord, great devotees. So this lady, she has the deity of Krishna, baby Ladu Gopa. And to her, that when Krishna wake up in the morning, Krishna need to eat when Krishna wakes up in the morning. So therefore, she herself, she wake up early in the morning, and when she wake up early in the morning, the first thing she does, and then she will be preparing food for Krishna. She'll be preparing because you know that Krishna is going to come very soon asking for his food. Preparing food for Krishna. And even to the extent that even she'll be using a stick, which one's supposed to be using to brush them out, because waking up in the morning, you use the stick to brush them out. But she's using the same stick to stir the preparation which she was making for Krishna. And then Krishna will come running. Krishna will come running and eat that. Now, one time, there was one one sadhu, one person, who was observing this lady, that this lady is waking up in the morning and preparing this food to offer to Krishna. And then she was wondering that how come that she's not observing any regulation. Usually, when you wake up in the morning, before you do anything for deity service, you have to wake up, you have to bathe yourself and do so many things. Then before you can go on the altar, anything like that, that's the normal, the regulated principles. So this lady, she was not doing that. Since immediately she started cooking for Krishna, no matter what state she is in. And so one time this sadhu went to the lady, said, oh, my dear mother, you are making, I've been observing you that you are making preparations for your deities, you are doing this, but you are not observing any rules and regulations. This is not good. You are supposed to be, clean yourself nicely and then prepare it, another. You are supposed to do this, do that. So, because this is the scriptural recommendations. So the lady being simple, and she said, okay, I will follow your advice. I follow your advice. I know the next morning she was following the advice of the sadhu, trying to clean herself nicely, whatever, cleansing and all that. So the next moment, Krishna came to run into her. That, hey, Mata, I'm hungry. Where's my food? I'm hungry. Where's my food? And the lady said that, oh, one sadhu is telling me that he came to me and said that what I'm doing is not good. I should be clean myself nicely, following the regulations, this and that, this and that. Krishna said that, I'm hungry. What is this? So I don't need this. You don't need that. I'm hungry. I want your food. You need to prepare for me right away. Yeah, I'm hungry. That's my consideration. Who is this sadhu? What is telling you? So in this way, which means it's not a matter of how much rules and regulation we can follow. It's a matter of love that is required. The love is what pleases the Lord. So there's a message, Sita Grava Damodara Bhakti Bhadan, that Lord Damodara was bound by the rope of love of his devotee of Mother Yashoda. So that is the specialty of this month of Damodara, this month of Kartik. And this month, especially those devotees who are Vrindavan, they spend this whole month hearing the Katha, hearing all the beautiful narrations of the pastimes, of the Lord. They spend the whole month hearing. So he mentioned, iti di Shwalila bi Ananda Kunde, Sagosani Majanta Akyapayanta, Tadiye Sitagesu Bhakta Jitatwan, Puna Prema Tastan Sata Britibande. By his childhood pastimes, such as this Damodara Bandhana Lila, he perpetually drowns all the residents of Gokul, which means the gopis, gopas, cows, and so forth, who are all manifested by his pastime potency, in pools of bliss. It thus informs those who have knowledge of his absolute divinity that only the pure and simple love of these devotees can conquer him. Again, hundreds of times, I offer loving obeisances unto Sri Damodara Krishna. So Krishna is only conquered by love. Ajita, Jita. So Lord Brahma is saying, Gyana Payasu the Passion Amantaiba, that people They're trying to understand Lord, the God, the absolute truth by knowledge and all that. But all these Ghana prayers, the exercise of knowledge, this one cannot really understand the Lord, the absolute truth. So therefore, that method is whereby that agita means the one who cannot be conquered. That method by which agita become jita, the unconquerable person become conquered. That method, that is what's required. That's the only way one can attain the Lord. How someone who's not conquered can become conquered. Conquering. Just like a person may be so great, may be so big, like a big person is a president, a minister, or this and that. So big, is revered by all the citizens. But when you go to his house, that role is no more there. His loving child will come and sit on him, sit on his lap. Maybe he may even give him the slap on the back, his loving child. And this means this great person is relishing it. He's having so much happiness that, oh, my dear child has come. My dear child is feeling so much happiness. Child comes from his side, he's relishing, He's not relishing all the adoration that he's getting from outside. Everyone wants something from him. But in this house, this love that his child has for him. That's what gives him bliss. That's what gives him happiness. So that what should be our role with the Lord. So, okay, I'm going to stop here. It's after 10 o'clock here, p.m. So I will stop. And so it's a great fortune that I'm able to say something, just trying to have a little glimpse of this Damodar Lila pastimes. Because normally devotees spend his whole month just discussing this every day. And there's always a lot of lectures. So we sure pray that whatever spiritual activities we're able to do this month, that we should pray that the Lord we get some reciprocation from it. Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to stop. And I'm also actually not feeling well. I have some kind of a stomach problem. So you can please ask question. Okay. Some comments?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dear devotees, if anyone may have a question, comment, you may want to ask or share, indicate by using the hand emoji of physical hand, and if you have to unmute to speak or ask your question. Well, Prabhuji, you were saying your health is not so good, and it's late your time also. But we can't thank you enough for all these various wonderful pastimes of the Lord and his devotees. But at the same time, there were so many things you mentioned in your delivery that are quite troubling, that we may not have enough time to try to get into them in details. But one question I would like to ask is, you had indicated in your lecture, say Krishna Katha, that it is impossible to attain Krishna if one is chasing after money. And you gave the analogy supporting that by saying you cannot put 2 feet in 2 different booths In other words, one foot in one boat, the other foot in another boat, and expect to cross a river. My question in regards to that is that I didn't know anything about Krishna until I started reading Srila Prabhupada's books. I met devotees, and then I joined the temple, and I've been reading Srila Prabhupada's books, and I've been listening to his disciples, and of course, many other devotees also. I haven't ever heard or come across anyone saying that those who pursue money cannot attain the love of Godhead. So if you may want to explain exactly what you meant, maybe I misheard you, I misunderstood you. So if you may explain a little more about that.
Yeah, I would love to explain that. Even on our contemporary religion, is not. I think Jesus said that you cannot, one cannot. What's that?
You cannot serve God and Mammon at the same
Mama,
time.
yeah, same time, yeah. So Jesus said that you cannot serve God and Mammon. So why not to choose one? So usually that's the requirement. Is because normally in this world we normally look for our own, satisfaction, our own what we can get. We pursue. So okay, we want to serve God, but at the same time also we want we want to be pleased. We want, how are we going to live nice life and all that. So that's why I said that bhakti sudula, but bhakti is very difficult to attain. The real bhakti is extremely difficult to attain. Krishna bhakti. Why is bhakti sudula difficult to attain? Because real bhakti is involved giving up all these things, giving up pursuit of materialistic achievement. One has to give up. One has to give up one and pursue the other. If you want to become materially successful, maybe you can produce Varnashram Dharma or things like that. But if you want Sudha Bhakti, then one has to give up. That's why one is instructed. What is that? When Prahlad Maharaj, when he was instructing his father, he was telling his father that this material world is full of, it's like a blind well, which everyone has fallen into. It's like whereby there's so much, you fly into a blind well, there's so much misery. So what did he say? Vanangata, Haripadasraya, that one should give up and go to the forest and take shelter of Lord Hari. Vanangata Haripadasraya, that you should give up. One should give up and go to the forest. In this case, forest may go to that place where the sadhus are, where the saintly persons are, and hear from them and take shelter of the Lord. If one wants to cross over the ocean of this materialistic existence. So, but again, not everyone wants that, because we all have one kind of attachment or the other. So therefore the Acharya will say, okay, practice Varnashram. Practice Varnashram because you're unable to do this, therefore to do that one. So eventually, when you practice Varnashram, you eventually, when we come to the purification, we have a certain point in life when we no longer desire such activities of materialistic endeavor. But that's the ultimate thing, ultimate. So, and of course, we have many great devotees who are like very, very rich. Some of them even have big businesses. But those devotees, they don't see themselves as the doer. They see their business, their richness, they see it as this is Krishna's business. This is Krishna's worth. This everything belongs to Christ. They simply see themselves as a manager of the Lord's affair. They see themselves as the manager of the Lord's affair. So therefore, they do everything, they're earning money, but they don't use anything for their own sense gratification. You know. So it's not that we are not against doing business or making money. No. But what is the motivation behind it? If you are saying that, okay, I'm making money, I want to give so and so to Krishna, and so I want to give for myself. So which means we are saying as, okay, this for Krishna and this is for me. So Krishna says, Ye yatamam prapadyante, turns the taiva bhajamyaha, as one surrenders unto me, I give reward accordingly. If you surrender unto me 10%, you get 10% reward. 50%, you get 50% reward. But to the gopis of Vrindavan, he told them, Naparayahan, oh my dear gopis, I cannot repay you because your service to me is beyond reproach. Therefore, I become indebted to you, Krishna is telling the gopis, because the gopis desire nothing. They simply want to see the happiness of Krishna. So I think it should be simple to understand that yes, we have to give up one thing for the other, or we have to make a decision. What do we want? So if you cannot follow the path of Sudha Bhakti, pure Bhakti, then we can do this, what we call Vanashram. You know, that we can follow. Wherever you do activities, do things, give the result of your work to the, for the service of the Lord. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Well, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead. Madhava Prabhu, go ahead.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dhanavat Pranam. Glory to your Lordship. Thank you very much for giving us this very wonderful, we call it lecture. And actually, I have to, after this class, I have to listen to it once more again so that I can catch up with almost everything. So give us. Thank you very much. From Saturday's question, I also have an idea, like one cannot love two things. Nowadays, people have love of money. And when you have love of money, there's no way you can love God. So somebody who loves money is ready to do anything, even to contravene the laws of God. But someone who loves God will not do anything contravening laws because of money. So I think this law make it more clearer to us. I don't know, Prabhu. That's just my little idea about it.
Well, thank you, Madhava Prabhu and Ishara Prabhu. Say, Prabhuji, Ishara Prabhu, when you were answering my question, you were quoting from, you were making a reference from the Bible where Madhava Prabhu can help. You cannot serve God and Mammoth at the same time. See, to me, the issue here is how we present what we have read or what we have heard. Because even though the Vedas is there, the Vedic principles are there, but we are strictly, as ISKCON devotees, following what Srila Prabhupada gave us after he had studied all the previous acharyas and have understood what they stand for. Coming all the way from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, And by the power invested in him by the Supreme Lord, being a Shakti avatar, he gave us a system that if we follow the system that he has given us, we are assured the possibility of going back to Godhead. And therefore, as far as I know, Srila Prabhupada, when he formed this organization called ISKCON, he had the brahmacharis and he had the grihastas. And the grihastas were living outside the temple. They were working. If you're working, in one sense, you're chasing after money. You cannot get married and live under the temple roof, have children, and expect the temple to take care of you. Srila Prabhupada did not say that his brahmacharis, sannyasi students, are better than the grihastas. So my understanding is that it is not someone chasing after money, but what you do with the money you're chasing after is what matters. And as you were speaking, I have been doing some research from statements Srila Prabhupada has made about these things. And there are so many statements Srila Prabhupada has made that actually there is no difference between temple resident devotees and devotees living outside the temple. Now, if someone is living outside the temple, how do they feed? Should they sit, do nothing? And I don't know, but that is not what Srila Prabhupada expected. What Srila Prabhupada expected and established is that all his devotees who are not prepared or ready to stay as brahmacharis and live in the temple can live outside the temple, work, earn money decently, and use that money to take care of the family and serve Krishna. Because taking care of the family are also devotees. You're taking care of them. So when we come up to say that any devotee chasing after money cannot attain Krishna, I do not know where that is coming from.
So, Hare Krishna, if you really understood what I've in my lecture properly, and also what I've expression, it has nothing to do with where you live. I don't think you hear my lecture say that unless you live in a temple, you cannot attain God. There are many.
You did not mention.
There are many.
You said if you chase money.
Many so-called brahmacharis who are in the temple who are more materialistic than those who live outside. So it's not a question of what you live; it's a matter of consciousness. So it's just, so you have to reflect deeper into what I'm saying. That's you have to reflect that. Actually, when I'm talking on the much kind of a higher topic in terms of what's the ultimate goal of devotees, of the ultimate goal of life, which is to develop love for God. I want us to give up one thing to do the other thing. It has nothing to do with go and make money and all that. I did told you that I did said that we have many great business people who have lots of money. But what is the motive behind their money? What do they do with the money? They use the money for Krishna. They simply see themselves as the manager, as the caretaker. So you have to understand that very clearly. Like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was a magistrate. He was a magistrate, and he was the greatest devotee of the Lord. So it's not. I never said that. So you have to give up this to do that. No, I never said that. I think Hassan is there.
But Hassan, please, you may unmute.
You can put more of this on a personal conversation because I actually not. I'm trying to answer my question, but at the same time, I'm not feeling well. You can see my eyes I'm some kind of big stomach problems. So
Dr. Hassan, please, you may go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please kindly accept my respectful obeisances. All glory to Guru Deva, all glory to Srila Prabhupada, and all glory to their wonderful assembled devotees. Thank you for the wonderful class. I think the question I wanted to ask is very similar to what His Grace Sahadev Prabhu asked. And I've been on and off, so I did not hear all the answers very well. But what I wanted to ask is that for somebody like me who was born in different faith, I was having my life, having my children, and I come into Krishna consciousness. And this family I have to work and take care of them. And in this particular moment, even to take care of children is it costs a lot of money. So if we can be sincere to ourselves, we spend more time working, chasing after money more than the devotional service. So in this case, in my situation, that means that I can never attain Krishna. I can never be saved, or what should I do? Because I cannot abandon my children, or I have to give them a good future because they cannot do anything for themselves. So I have to work hard and secure a very good future for them. And doing that, I have to keep working. And at the same time, I have to do my devotional service, especially here in the Western world. You cannot give excuses, even some festival days, especially Jamastamis and other festival days. You cannot tell your boss that today is a Jamastami, so I'm not going to work. He will sack you. So most of the time, we have to be at work. So in this situation, what should I do?
So as I've explained in my previous answer, that the process of Varnashram is there. Varnashram is this, whereby a person is in a different ashram of life. Varna and ashram means divisions of life. So, and each ashram is there, by which one's supposed to perform activities, accordingly, particular ashram that one may belong in. So, if you read chapter 12 of the Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna was instructing Arjuna, so he was telling Arjuna that if you cannot do this, do this. If you cannot do that, do that. So Lord Krishna is giving different, idea that, okay, if you cannot think of me 24 hours a day, then work for me. If you cannot work for me, then you do this. So the Lord is giving different ideas. So it's not that the Lord is not a crude person, After all, because we are conditioned souls, and big conditioned souls, we are not ready to just give up everything, go to the forest, as I explained. No. The instruction is there, but however, it's not meant for everyone. So, and we have to take a particular instructions according to our particular level. So is there in the Gita that the Lord says, if you cannot do this, do that. You cannot, devote yourself entirely, then you can do this. And everyone will get their particular reward. So ultimately, the whole goal of life is to always thinking of the Lord and never forget Him. So all our activities must enable us to always think of the Lord and not to forget Him. He said, Ante Narayana Smriti, at the end of, especially at the end of life, we have to think of the Lord at the end of life. So I'm sorry I cannot go deeper into this. I'm really having stomach problems. So I think we have to stop.
Yeah. Well, dear devotees, we thank you all. I think Shri has something to.
Prabhu can say something
before Shri Shara Prabhu goes. You may unmute, Prabhuji.
My obeisance is Prabhuji. Thank you very much for taking the strain
to share this Krishna Katha. Just one verse from the Gita to help to calm the debate on working, chasing money, or whatever. That verse, which we all learn it, 1846. Sweswe karma avirata. By performance of one's duty, one can attain perfection. That's what it says. 1846. And I think that should satisfy everybody. Krishna actually says by performance of one's particular occupation, one can attain perfection. Yeah, that is recommended. Thank you. That is just my little contribution. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. So anyway, I'm sorry I have to
All right.
go.
Thank you for sharing inspirational right. I put it up 1846.
And if anybody wants to communicate with me, you can get my number on my WhatsApp number. You can communicate with me on the WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You can communicate more on the WhatsApp.
Well, following in the footsteps of the brother, inspirational right, Prabhu, on behalf of each and every devotee here, we truly appreciate the sacrifice Ishwara Prabhu took to be with us today, even though your health is not very good. We can't thank you enough. So on this note, we're going to humbly request devotees to kindly unmute and we all chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation to His grace Ishwara Prabhu. Jai. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vancha
Kalpa Purusha Sitaram Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha.
His grace is para
Jai.
Jai. His confounder Chara is love. AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Jaga Guru Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinde ki Jai. Nitai Gopi Vinande.
Hare Hare
Glory to assemble devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.